And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarLadder StarSeries Season 14. We're about to head into our second map here between SKDC and Complexity for the North American group stages. SKDC just surprised us by taking the first map, and now we're going to see if they can do it again back over here on Cobblestone. My name is Blue. Joining me this evening is Mega Man. So as we immediately get started with the knife round, Mega Man, why don't you start us off here?
Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and get this one, boys and girls. SKDC, they won the map that they chose, which was Train. That was 16-8. And now we're going to see them contend with Complexity again here on Cobblestone. So a little bit of a stalemate here in mid. SEMPHIS did pick up the first frag, and now we're just going to see wabbit go down to bot Dave. I don't know who Dave is now. Who is that? Let's see. Sancz is Dave. Unless they had some random fifth come in. Man. It's Dave. I hope it just says bot. He should put bot in his name. Bot Dave.
That would certainly sound more correct.
But nevertheless, we do see Complexity pick up that all-important knife round. We'll see what side they decide to stay on because, you know, obviously we've had a couple of discussions as to what sided this map actually is. So,
yeah, you're is a weirdo and you still think it's CT sided, right?
I do still think it's a little bit on the CT side. Obviously, the changes that they've made have turned this map back to being a little bit more on the terrorist side, favoring it a little bit more. But I still think that this is still a 9-6-8-7 CT sided map.
Well, in North America...
I refuse to relent to this!
I think you're right in North America, but, like, globally and in terms of, like when you're looking at, like, Fnatic, TSM, and VP, like, top EU teams, it's, like, seems a little bit more swingy towards the T side. Very evenly, though. Very close. Like, I would say, like, 8-7 T-sided in a lot of games. So...
Alright.
I'll call you, like, I don't know, like, 40% right.
Okay. I see. There's actually a little bit of a debate over there talking about who the best offer was in 1.6. Obviously, people talking about fraud, but some people sometimes forget about Markelov back there. But nevertheless, there's the reverse boost there through drop, and Hades is going to find autimatic desi with 2 frags out long A, and already Complexity kind of reeling here.
And now, of course, desi too, sort of comically just standing at the exit to long A, at least when the T's walk into it, and he picks up 2 free kills for their Complexity. Didn't really seem to have too big of a reaction to that, so already there, those 2 kills are going to go by the way of the CTs, and it just leaves Complexity wondering, well, crap, what do we do? Because now we got a minute left, we're already down by 3, and unfortunately this doesn't leave a whole lot for them to do. You can see obviously what they are doing, which is sort of sitting back and waiting for aggression to come out so they can try to even out the equation a little bit more, but obviously SKDC being up 3 men, there's no reason to do this. They're just going to stick in positions they know they have control over and force the hand of Complexity, and Complexity just has to hope that they can find some really good entry frags.
The big part about that is nobody ever really expects that reverse boost to come up through drop in the pistol round, and Hades is able to capitalize on that, just going for that 5-7 push, and now they're just going to try to filter out here through long B. Smoke all-encompassing over towards that platform bomb site. Valens is going to be able to find one, but desi comes in. He gets a third. They do get the bomb plant, but desi just executing people, and he is already off and rolling on the CT side of this map, and that's massive because he was the top fragger on Train, and if he continues this route, he's just going to put numbers up on Complexity again. He's just farming kills.
Yeah, so again, a big play from him to start things off. Interestingly enough, we do see Complexity somehow managing to escape there by getting through with the bomb plant, so it's not going to be a total loss for those guys, all things considered. They can go for the buy-up here once again, which is what they're going to do, so they're going to take the Tech 9, CZ, or whatever buy-up they can have, and Roca, unsurprisingly, going for his scout buy-up, so we'll see what they can pose back in the second round. Maybe trying to get an upset, but for SKDC, already arming themselves to the teeth as far as this round is concerned, and desi, armed up with the M4, actually pressing through. He might get a chance to pick up some more kills here once again.
Oh no, he turns, but he drops a nade and just wrecks 2 of them.
It was a very unemotional oh no. So now desi here is going to get himself into a battle towards long A, but doesn't really end up going so well for him. He puts SEMPHIS down to 13 HP, but he himself is down to 26, so he really has to fall back here and get out of here. Thankfully, because of this, he detects the fact that the play is going to come towards A very early, so he's caught more formal rotations coming out from his teammates, and now he's finally going to pick up a 1 kill. Combos that into a second over here onto SEMPHIS, and the rest of the team, as they try to work their way back into the site, not really going so well. Sancz will pick up this 1 kill onto Ellis, but desi's slowly creeping, and he's going to try to get this kill on Alley. Does a little bit of damage to his teammate along the way, but he still executes that, and now it's just Sancz as the final player alive, and Ocean will pick up not only him, but the player before that as well to give SKDC the second point.
And again, it's desi getting that early damage out. He's sitting at 6-0. He didn't die at the end of that, even though he was down to 20 HP by the end. And you can see, obviously, holding that M4, he's got a full nade kit to work with, $2,800 on his back after the buy down. And already 5 rifles in the hands of the CT side. They did lose that one player who had an MP9, but again, desi, he's just playing so mobile right now here in mid, and he's just going to push out again. I really hope that he clears this angle up to his left, but he's just going to push on by, and roca's not watching for this. He's going to throw the high flash, and desi is already on a flank. This is so scary for complexity because desi, he's playing like Fur does from Luminosity right now, just gathering information. He's going, hey, there was nobody in mid. I didn't hear any footsteps towards A, so I'm just going to go on this big flank in middle, and now he's going to be able to get a little bit of clairvoyance. He's going to push around behind him, but Ocean and L's already opening things up, and he's not even going to get there in time. They're going to clear all these kills up before he pops out.
And now it's sort of autimatic and roca that are going to try to group themselves up. They do group themselves up between A and B connector, but already wabbit finding one more of these 2 frag series. He takes down roca, and it's just hunting down autimatic at this point. He does some good damage, but he slowly gets overwhelmed, so desi shuts it down. A great hold from SKDC. Once again, complexity, unfortunately, the strategy a little bit misplaced, and all of that flank doesn't really do anything. It's just the potentiality of what it could have done if we had seen complexity try to rotate back to the A site. That made that a great play from him. So again, 3-0 now from SKDC, and we're going to head into the first gun run, of course, but with how clean SKDC members made it out of that, they're already looking at actually a pretty decent amount stacked up. They're not going to waste any cash as of yet, upgrading that up over there for wabbit. They're probably going to do that after this round, should they actually need to go for this one here, once again, if complexity come out on top in the first gun run.
3-0 in favor of SKDC as we move into the first gun round, and this is just going to be desi again, aggressive over here by the A halls. He's already gathering that there's nobody here. Here comes the push from complexity. They're just going to try to barrel into this bomb site, and you can see Ocean actually boosted. They've got 2 players playing Fountain. Good pop flash comes around the corner. Ocean and Hades going to find first blood. There's still another player over here, Ellis, who does actually fall. Autimatic and roca going to get on the board here as well, and it's just going to be wabbit to hold this down, but that bomb around the corner drops that, and negates the bomb plant, and Hades with a nice spam through the smoke takes another one down, and it's all down to SEMPHIS. He does tap away onto that one player in desi, and now Hades coming up and around the corner, and SEMPHIS just waiting for it, and Hades pushes right into it, so complexity somehow managed to steal that one away, and SEMPHIS on 1 HP.
Thankfully, though, as we discussed when this round was getting started, still plenty of cash left in the bank here for SKDC, so they are going to go for another buy. This time, actually technically looking better than the previous one, because now they got full M4s and the op on wabbit, along with full utility and armor sitting behind it. So this is the real big buy from them. And for complexity, they're actually really in a worse position, which is ironic considering the fact that they just won, but we oftentimes see this when the CTs come out of their anti-eco so cleanly. And good job, SEMPHIS.
Wabbit legged roca, and SEMPHIS shot him in the butt.
So SEMPHIS starts things off with -1 kills for himself there as he accidentally takes down roca. And wabbit, I guess, is like, well, I suppose that counts as a kill, and is now going to fall back over here to the edge of long A.
Exiting B! So nice opening there, though, for the SKDC side, and if they're able to reset this, it's going to be huge. Hades just playing right under drop. He's going to get flashed out and caught. Autimatic's going to be able to trade that, but he's going to fall immediately to Els. There's one more up here on top of drop. That's going to be SEMPHIS. Flashbang out around the corner. Hades is going to take a look at it, but nothing doing. Not going to find anything right now. And now they're going to be able to spot that player pushed out. That's sancz already out by the box, and SEMPHIS coming on the flank. So Els has just got a hold here, and he's going to be able to have a little bit of an easy cleanup onto that one player, and this is going to be Ocean behind the fountain now. Nice peek from sancz, finds wabbit. There's Ocean's peek, and desi on the flank. And just like that, SKDC shut it down. And
that's, again, the second time now that desi's been allowed to do this. You'll remember before that he didn't really end up getting to do much with this flank, but this time it pans out. And this is sort of expected, of course, because this is the first time he's really been able to make an impact with it now. So you can't really take too much off of complexity for allowing that to happen. They're probably going to reapply now and make sure that they have somebody watching for that flank. But still, of course, a key component in allowing SKDC to shut things down, and this will grow their economy even more. Complexity, of course, nowhere near enough cash in order to go for another buy this time, so they're going to sit back. Desi, if he can hear this, is going to know that this push is coming through mid-con, so he's going to be able to line up this flank once more. If they keep somebody with an eye back over here on a long A, then obviously they're going to be able to expect this, but still, the key thing is that he's seen this coming, or he should have been able to hear this coming, and now the rotation's been coming very early, and already they're picking up 1 kill, looking for a second. He does retreat himself back over there inside of the shed, but although he will pick up 1 kill, Hades will quickly trade it out there by finishing him off, and they've already got back control of things, surviving with 4 players alive. They're going to pick up a 5th point here.
And here's a little bit of a fun fact as well. Hades was underperforming a little bit there on train. You saw him kind of pick up the pace there a little bit when they got on the CT side. But this time he comes out romping and stomping. He's 7-2 on the scoreboard. He does have to have a rebuy after that round is all said and done. Desi at 9-1, so he continues the top fragging that he had. But adversely, look at the other side. SEMPHIS, he did have 2 kills. He did TK in that one round, so not to take too much away from him. But you got roca, you've got valens, you've got SEMPHIS all sitting at 1 kill. sancz with only 2, autimatic with 5. So really, it all boils down. Oh, there's a nice peek from desi. No, that was actually, he got so much information out of that. He just spotted 3 players in mid.
So now he's going to pop flash in here to make sure, and already the rotation's coming in here. Oh, they're just going to get floored, but no, they actually turn back 2 kills right back around. autimatic and roca picking those 2 up, so now they've got a way into this site, and that's actually a big mess up there by SKDC, because now they're in here, they know that they're coming in, so obviously Complexity, they're going to have sort of an elevated sense of alert here as well, and there's just a save being called from SKDC. Already, this round's done for.
Yeah, and they need to hold on to these rifles to have a nice buy in this next round. You can see Ocean low, Hades low. Hades needs to hold on to this. Ellis needs to hold on to this. desi can buy and drop one. Wabbit's going to be able to buy himself, so they'll be able to drop a gun for Ocean, and they should have a pretty decent buy behind this on the CT side regardless. But 5-2 is going to be your scoreline. Complexity, blah, 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 blah. Complexity able to put one more on the board so far, but again, they're in jeopardy. If they lose the next round, there's that money reset again.
So we'll see what they are going to be able to do. It doesn't really look like anybody from Complexity is going to get a good chance here to knock out any of these 2 people that are saving. They're sitting pretty secure inside of the big tower right now, and obviously Complexity sort of have grouped themselves up both over here in middle and long A, so they are actually looking to save here too because their money wasn't secured just as of yet. So no other kills going to be made there at the end, and as we said before, there should be enough left in the bank here in order to get a couple tosses back out. Wabbit actually can afford his op rebuy along with armor sitting behind that too, so it's still going to be a very confident buy heading into this round. But as you had mentioned before, off of the hinges of this, if Complexity bring up a twofer here, then we're immediately probably going to see a save. But that may not happen, as Wabbit just blind peeks inside of midcon here and already shutting down valens.
Yeah, and that's a great find. You've also got desi playing aggressively in here in mid, so they're actually gambling a little bit with 2 players over at A. It looks like desi's going to rotate on over towards the B-bomb site, which is where the hit is coming. But you can see, actually, Odig playing this one smart. He plays the spam out. He can't adjust the spray, but he does a little bit of damage there onto roca. autimatic is going to be able to find Hades. autimatic coming down through drop actually finds Els as well. And now it's going to be on desi, who's pushed out in front of this smoke. He's got a little bit of a line of sight with those other smokes being in the way, and he might just be able to sneak in here. He spots SEMPHIS jumping up over top. Going to be able to peek out, finds sancz. SEMPHIS does get the drop on him, and now it's going to be wabbit to try to hold on to this, but he's getting flanked out. autimatic, again, just lurking really, really well. And a round that I thought SKDC kind of had in the bag early with that opening pick crumbles in the long run. So Complexity going to get themselves back in this, and that's going to put a save here for the CT side of SKDC. So it should be 5-4 after this round is over.
A couple guns are going to get tossed out by Els because he was sitting at around 5.7k, but beyond that, that's probably all we are going to see from the CTs this time. Smoke along with an HE grenade sitting onto Ocean and Hades respectively, but pardon me, now the economy game definitely shifts into the favor of the members of Cole at this point, and they're going to play it very quickly to correspond to this one. Already sancz throwing in through drop there. He's going to pick up the kill onto Ocean. Looking for more back over by the rock in the main entryway for the CTs. Picking up one, but not expecting the tree position. Nonetheless, handles it anyway. Picking up 2 more kills there. So already 3 out of 5 being executed solely by sancz. He's going to try to jump in here and pick up that 1 kill. Finds a headshot in order to take him down. So there's 1 on the board for the CTs, but unfortunately, this may end up being all that they can get, as Hades, now armed with that AK, is going to decide to take the economical route and fall back to save this.
And that's smart. If they continue to push on through, desi might be able to do a little bit of damage here with this 5-7. He's got autimatic actually pushing out in front, and Hades just executes him, drops him immediately. SEMPHIS pushing around. He's going to fall as well, so they're making this very expensive for Complexity. As you can see, they might actually be able to salvage the AWP out at the end of this round, and finally, valens is going to be able to silence Hades, but the damage is kind of being done. desi, not really an AWPer. He's going to miss that shot. Now he's going to get caught from behind. roca is going to kind of try to push out. He's got to just hang on for dear life and hold on to this. And roca comes around. Ooh, daddy. No scope. Takes him down. Nice shot there at the end as desi executes him. So they do get out of it with the AWP. It's going to be behind another buy round, so wabbit should have that off.
That is a D going to get tossed over towards him. desi also floating with enough. It actually gets donated a gun, so he's still going to have a whole lot of cash at the end of this round after he goes for his utility buy up there. And we're right back up to a full buy for SKDC, especially with that op being saved. So a really big pickup there at the end, and a great shot from desi to make sure that he does keep it in his hands. And just like that, SKDC has another chance to maintain this lead. But for Complexity, this is also a big chance for them because they pick this one up. SKDC should be forced onto another save. And then we will see more than likely from that point forward Complexity being able to actually take the lead and grow it from there.
Nice shot for Valens through mid doors, though. Is going to find the opening dink, and the collateral damage onto desi drops him early in the round, so already a man advantage going the way of complexity. And we'll see if SKDC can recover from this, and desi throwing out a little MM1 right there. Caught him by a surprise. He just saw the shoulder of Valens, but shoulder is all he needed in order to execute him, so...
That slow peek on the broken wall from Wabbit, though, and the absolute zero response from SEMPHIS, jumping up, but that time way too over-aggressive. That's gonna Hades tries to walk over there, doesn't realize autimatic is right in his face, so he just shuts him down with a headshot. And then SEMPHIS is gonna find an additional kill over here on Ocean as well. So that just leaves Ellis alive. A couple of unfortunate mistakes here being made by SKDC. Was looking good for them at the start, but very quickly sort of turns the tables. And Complexity now have a 4-on-1 advantage, and it'll be Els looking to save at the end of this. So Complexity are going to tie things up. Now with Els saving, looking at the money, actually I correct myself here. I thought somebody was sitting at still around like 3K. We might have been able to see 2 rifles coming into play, but that's not going to be the case. He's going to have the only rifle, should he manage to save it.
Yeah, SKDC, they just need to stabilize now. That's really the big thing. They've got 5 rounds to work with here on their CT side, and like you said, you and Moses seem to favor this map as a terrorist side map. Obviously, Complexity getting themselves back in this after being down 5-1. So rattling off 4 rounds in a row, that money bonus is going to start ramping up here for the CT side, but autimatic working his way around these A halls. Might actually find Els. He decides to go down through the danger zone. He's not going to find anything over there. Autimatic still looking for it, but Els should be able to get out of this, and he does. So 5-5 is going to be your score line, and it's going to come into another eco round for SKDC, and I expect to see a little bit more of a stack towards that B. But never mind. They're buying.
Buy-ups. And Ocean this time actually going for the... he's been playing instead of drop a couple of these rounds, so he's definitely going to do this again, but now he's got the mag, so if Complexity just go for a quick take on it once again, then he can actually get a pretty big play here at the start by dropping that, eventually upgrading himself to a rifle. And we can already see this. A couple players inching themselves over towards drop. The flash comes out in hopes of rearing them away, but Ocean here is going to get a smoke tossed over towards him. A flash, too, is completely blind, but he can still hear. Unfortunately, this molly comes out, and that's going to be a little bit too much chaos for him to handle. Nonetheless, sits back behind that smoke, still has something to work with. And if Hades can get the call, he can press forward. And here we go now. He's moving in, looking for it, but no press out as of yet here from Complexity. Now SEMPHIS is going to do it, but Ocean pulls a blank there. SEMPHIS is going to pick up the kill. Thankfully, Hades is there for the trades. They'll open it up 1-for-1. And for the time being, no other action really being taken here by Complexity.
Yeah, just slow playing this. Hades might get caught out, and he does exactly that. Autimatic has just been really, really good at these takes on the drop zone, but with that pick, they're going to grab the bomb and fall back towards that A corridor down through mid. And nobody was really at home. It's going to be all on desi's shoulders to try to lock this one down. And he's playing aggressive by this APC, just trying to jump peek and see if he can find anything. But nothing's going to be coming in his avenue just yet. But all 4 of the remaining terrorists are going to be grouped up. They pop flash through, and now desi is going to have his hands very, very full in the backside of this A bomb site. He's got to be careful. Valens coming around from the side of the APC, and Valens just destroys him.
There's going to be Els flying a response frag. Picks up 2 as they try to get a little bit overly aggressive there inside of the shed. So gets the response. Now leaving it into a 1-on-2, though. 3 flashes for the entirety of the retake here on SKDC. And it looks like they're going to toss these out and just try and go for it, but not very well placed, unfortunately. sancz, he's just going to be waiting for that outside of the main door. Shuts down one of these players. Now it's all on Els. He's already gotten 2 kills. Going to have to come out with the 4K if he wants to clutch it, but roca with the 1-tap headshot there. Shuts it down. That's a team ace for Complexity, and they now take the lead off of this as well.
And also, just let's take a moment to look at the money here on the terrorist side, because they've ramped 5 rounds here in a row. And even with this buy down, they had to buy 3 weapons at the end of that. They're still sitting pretty much unanimous above 6K, with the exception of sancz, who has died the most. So getting themselves back into this one, and oh, never mind. Ooh, rip. Hades down to 19 as well, so that's a rip. Autimatic's going to find Hades. They got to get this boost quickly, and SEMPHIS is going to sniff it out, finds Els, takes him down. Now the Desert Eagle of OD can't do anything, and it's all on desi over here at Long Halls. He's not really going to have a chance to bite at anything right now. It should be a 5-man stand, so this does nothing to hurt the economy for Complexity. They should be fine for the remainder of this half, even if SKDC can get themselves a couple more rounds here.
desi's sort of inching out here like maybe somebody wanted to flank. Maybe I can find a kill, but that's not the case. desi, he's going to have to sit back. Hope he can save this deagle, but even that, of course, not going to be much of a save with pretty much the full eco coming out there from SKDC. Complexity, with their much more superior arsenal, we're just able to waltz right over that once again. So they'll find a 7th point here, and now finally starting to sort of take the lead after a little bit of a rocky start here at the beginning of the half. They've definitely solidified their strat a little better and found a lot of those weak points on SKDC that they need to work through in order to get the site take. Mainly over there towards B. We actually seen a couple rounds where they've been able to get themselves into A, but for the most part, it's been focused on that B site.
I actually saw a question in chat, is a team ace the same as a regular ace? A team ace is just where every single player on that team gets a kill that round, so everybody contributes and gets one frag. Again, I don't know if I really like this call from SEMPHIS. He drops the AK and actually picks up the AWP this round. Not really a fan of that. The AKs are working. Stick with it.
So we'll see how that pans out. A little bit more of a change up from Complexity too, is they're not actually going to go for this just this direct setup over here to work their way onto the B site. Still going to keep the number 8 man, which is automatic, to try and make a little bit of noise over here, but they're also making some noise themselves as they push into long 8. Not any resistance at all here coming out for the members of SKDC, however, as desi is just putting himself way over here on the backside, sitting on top of the barrels right now, waiting to see a push from either direction. Very good spot, just because of the fact that it gives him a presence on the push that comes out both from mid connector along with the long A push, but very much so also out in the open if somebody does expect that. And we're going to see wabbit as they go for the counter boost there inside a drop. He's going to pick up the first alp shot. Shut down automatic. They do know this is a flank now, but as the question is, how do they know is it actually going to get pushed over here into the A site? Apologies for my stuttering. And now they're going to roll in, so they do catch on to this, but wabbit gets himself over here, catches one player, but then smokes a play. Doesn't even matter though. He's able to track the bullets and picks up one kill, looking for more. The spray coming out from Hades too, but they're not moving over towards that avenue, so that's really not going to allow them to pick anything up. desi finding another kill in the meantime. Wabbit comes out to save desi, and desi just shutting things down, picking up 2. wabbit with 3 for that time, playing from the balcony, and there's going to be SKDC striking back with another round.
Yeah, and like I said, that money not really going to be a factor for Complexity for the remainder of this half, so they're going to be on another full buy. You can see automatic. They go right back for the 5 AKs, and that's why I said I don't understand why they decided to pick up an AWP in that avenue. Granted, they went towards the A bomb site, so it's a little bit open for an AWPer to play, but this time they're going to send 2 players over towards that long hallway, and it's just going to be a fast push down through drop. roca's going to get caught, taken down to 39. He goes for the repeat, and he actually wins that battle with Ellis, so nice bit of damage there onto OD as well, and he's going to try to fall back and hang on for dear life, but sancz is there. They just swarm this B bomb site. When all else fails, rush B. roca's going to find desi, and it's all down to wabbit, so that's the reset right there, and the last round of the half is going to be miserable for SKDC.
Yeah, so this definitely guarantees a lead for Complexity at this point. They're going to come up to 8 now. wabbit, of course, will look to save the op so they can maybe have somewhat of an impact, but as you've already mentioned, with the reset economy, and you look at the money totals now, they won't be in the worst spot in the world. They can actually probably afford rifles on a lot of those guys with just the minimal losing bonus, so they'll be able to strike back a little bit, but if they don't pick that up, of course, 9-6 is still going to be a very, very big lead here for North American Cobblestone, as we'll call it. And of course, there is going to be a lot more work that needs to be done for themselves back over on the T side if they want to swing that comeback, starting right off with the pistol round.
No up for wabbit. Going to be a very tight buy here for the CT side. You can see they don't have a lot of utility. They all pick up smokes, which is obviously the preferred grenade to have in your arsenal here on a map like this to try to smoke off all those corridors and hold those CTs or hold those pesky terrorists back. And again, SEMPHIS on the AWP, so they're going to have to slow play this round and work for these picks, and now it's going to be desi down here on the bottom side of mid just looking for anything. He might just push through this smoke as, well, let's see what he decides to do. Looks like he's just going to re-smoke off mid, and that's what he's going to do. Just turtle up behind here and see what he's got. They're not really watching in his position, so if he pushes this, he might be able to find a kill on a roca or maybe even potentially SEMPHIS. They're both just watching for that long haul push. He's just going to turtle up here behind this smoke, so action actually going over towards that B bomb site, but that bomb gets dropped, and now desi's going to have to fall back because those players that were encroaching on that position are going to be coming down towards mid. You can see they had a little bit of a pinch going on there. 2 players sitting outside of the B halls, just waiting for any kind of aggression from the CT side, so it's just going to be a pickoff strat working behind that AWP.
And more of SKDC has also started to rotate themselves back over here towards this A side as well. So they do know that there might be that rotation coming out after not really catching anything very early on, of course, here in the B site. But you also are still leaving 2 players behind to throw the fake out. So we'll see how well SKDC are throwing. This is actually one of the first times we've seen them attempted this, and so far it doesn't seem they're swaying all that much. The one player that was inside of the site con is going to start to rotate a little bit further back from the B, but Hades manages things. He picks up that first kill there. The rest are coming out through long A, and the bomb was going to commit itself over here towards B, but they call it back, and they are going to commit to the A side instead here, and they don't even realize, too, these players that are pushing out long A, they don't realize that desi and Ellis, they have control of this. Thankfully, valens picks up one here, so again, the bomb is still in play at this point, but now they've got to stop desi here, too, and that's not going to happen. Bomb goes down, desi to his left, though, not catching SEMPHIS in time, so they're going to pick that up, but as you said, there's no time left on the clock. They just have to try and kill Hades, and they know this, too. They're looking in for him, but Hades is on the run. We're going to see roca try to catch it, but that won't happen. And we will see SKDC coming through with one more round, and once again here, just like the last map, will be at a 7-8 scoreline to end the half.
That's the risk of that slow play, working behind that AWP setup. And every time that we saw SEMPHIS with the AWP, we knew that it was going to be a slow play out of complexity, and they fumbled each time. Beautiful play there from the CT side, holding strong and holding true in that A bomb site, not giving up that mid control. They were able to just trade out that kill, and with that bomb getting dropped there in mid, they have no time with 9 seconds. I'm not even sure that he would have been able to get up into the site and plant with enough time left, because there was 10 seconds when he came out through mid to try to get all the way up the hill, all the way into the bomb site and get that bomb planted. It would have been by the skin of his teeth if he even made it into the bomb site. But desi playing there, that was the round win right there. Hades just had to stay alive. And it did get a little bit scary there at the end because they were chasing. They were very close to him, but Hades staying alive, clutches out that round. 8-7 is going to be the halftime score, so a lot of breathing room on both sides here. And this is where the pistol round kind of triggers that momentum, but it's not going to be as big of a deal as if it was a much more tremendous half from one side or the other.
And we can see in this map, too, we talked about it at halftime back over on Train, about how there was a very top-heavy performance for both teams. Complexity seemed to have evened this a little bit out more here on this map. It's not like these huge frag totals are leaving. You have it to some degree, but it's a little bit more equated this time. It's still a little bit of a problem here in SKDC, where you have these heavyweights coming out almost in every single round in order to clutch things. So Hades at 14 kills, so is desi, and even wabbit, too, although wabbit really doesn't show it as much. Wabbit was definitely a key component in clutching out a lot of those rounds, sitting up at 8 kills, but the rest of them, at least comparing it to Hades and desi, they're floating down at 6 and 5 kills. So again, those guys still performing a little bit, not able to show themselves as strongly as some of their other teammates, so they are sort of hanging down a little bit lower, and that leaves them weak when of course those big star players like desi and Hades get eliminated.
And that's really the thing. Once they realized that desi was playing over there towards that A bomb site, they started going for those fast strats towards B. And I'm surprised that they didn't actually examine that a little bit more, because they were winning pretty much every single round that they went towards B. And then they started doing these slow strats towards the A bomb site. And each time that they went towards A, with the exception of I think one time, they got shut down. So not really sure I agree with the strat calling there from the complexity side.
It sort of shows, too, because if I remember correctly, Ocean and Ellis were the main people that were trying to hold off the B side, and how many times were Complexity able to just force their way through that? That defense was really weak for a majority of that half, which is a large reason why we saw Complexity playing over to the B side so much.
Yeah, the big thing was autimatic was having so much success over a drop. Just let him go solo that area and push the remaining 4 terrorists out through the broken wall. You know, that's where they found most of their success, and the biggest part about it is that they didn't exploit it over and over again in that half. Their string of 6 rounds in a row came with, I believe, 5 rounds at the B bomb site and 1 at A. So now we get to see whether or not SKDC, they're still in a golden opportunity here to take this in 2 maps. They did win the first map 16-8 on Train, so they come in here with a map advantage, as you can see at the top side by that overlay, and we'll see if they can capitalize. It's going to be Valens to try to hold drop. The flashbang comes out. He's going to be around the corner, but it's going to be sancz to draw first blood. Ellis and 80s just drop both of them, but it's autimatic at the back of that bomb site by the Chicken Coop's able to find a nice headshot and stall out that push for a little while his teammates rotate in through the doors.
Unfortunately stuck sort of inside of Chicken Coop, though, so Oshi gonna come and ducking his way through. He's gonna pick up that frag, bringing it down to just 2 more left alive here for Cole. roca and SEMPHIS. roca does find his way in here with a nice little headshot on a desi, looking for another one, and he's gonna grab it on Ellis, so the equation has been equalized for the time being. Back down to 2 players on each side, but the timer's now started. No kit currently equipped for either of these guys. I do imagine there's one on the ground. This great flank from roca, too, pushing right in. They're gonna finish things off. SEMPHIS finds both of those kills, and honestly, I don't think they need the kit. They got plenty of time left to defuse the bomb, so that's gonna be Complexity picking up the pistol, and there we have it. No lead 9-7 to potentially be able to grow that up to about 11 points here, so long as they don't have any problems with these anti-ecos.
And kind of a thing to note, I saw somebody ask in chat whether or not SKDC won all the pistols. They had up until that point. They've gone 3 for 4 in the pistols so far, and that's really kind of a testament as to why they're even in this matchup right now, because they were able to get those 3 early rounds. They lost the first gun round, but then they traded it out immediately, and they were up at a 5-1 scoreline in the beginning of that first half. So they kind of squandered that throughout the remainder of that first half. But, you know, what are you going to do? It's Cobblestone.
So now Complexity, of course, they're going to go for their big buy here. 3 rifles already coming into play, so it's the usual 3-2 split. One of the SMGs is going to be a P90, and there's roca finding 1, finding 2. It's a shooting gallery, up to 3, and looking for the 4th, but looks like he's going to pull back a little bit here, and he runs out of ammo, so wabbit finally comes through, gets the lucky draw. He's going to be able to pick up that kill, but now SEMPHIS just cleans things up with the P90, and there's the 10th point for Cole. Only losing
too many bullets.
Yep.
Nice hold there. Just deathmatching a little bit from roca, just popping some headshots over there, but he overstayed his welcome a little bit too long there. That was a little bit too risky, and they actually almost lost the M4 because of it. Luckily, SEMPHIS was there to trade out those last 2 kills, but, you know, at that point, he gets the first 3 kills. He's got four bullets left. Just fall back and reload. Your teammate's right there to help you. There's no reason to just stick over there and fight that battle for no reason. Because
we did see the buy coming up, or the plan, I should say, coming up from the first round, and because they didn't buy here on the second round, we are going to see that third round force up coming out now from SKDC. So they've got 5 AKs. Utility is a little bit limited, I should say, but they still have enough to try to work a very small take here. So they're going to try to work things very early in this round. And you look at complexity, they're still looking a little bit weaker in this matchup, with valens still down on that SMG, and the rest of the guys on slightly downgraded rifles as well, with his 2 from us still in play.
Yeah, this is going to be a tall order here for the CT side, and you can see how spread out they are on the terrorist side. 2 players actually favoring mid control down here at the bottom of middle, and that's going to be SEMPHIS over there by the door, trying to make something happen. Roca could get caught out. He's playing an aggressive angle here by long A. He does have a trade partner over there in the way of SEMPHIS, but SEMPHIS is very far back. Roca goes for that peek. He's not going to find anything just yet, and they're just going to be able to continue to creep up on there and see whether or not they can make anything happen. But there it is. sancz opens up. desi down and out. First blood has been found. Complexity on the board. And that's going to leave a man disadvantage here for the SKDC side. Flashbang over the top. Roca right around the corner. He gets flashed. They're going to peek it. They find him, take him down, and now it's going to be SEMPHIS on this rotation up by heaven. He actually just drops on out behind APC, but he doesn't realize that a player has actually worked his way through. Hades finds one as well as Ellis. That's going to be autimatic and SEMPHIS down in a free A bomb site. There's a big flank coming out. And that bomb, oh, wow, I'm actually surprised. The bomb is over here at B, but wabbit wins that. And the last player is going to be over in drop room. That's going to be valens with just an MP7 to try to do anything. And Hades coming around from behind. They sandwich him, take him down. That was very, very scary. SKDC could have actually lost that round because time was ticking down. They only had 10 seconds. And wabbit actually finds that kill. So if they would have gotten that bomb drop, that would have been a round for complexity.
Never got to worry about wabbit, man. Always coming out on top for the SKDC guys. So he's going to allow them to forge their way into the B site there and prevent that time issue from becoming an issue there for the members of SKDC. And actually, before they allow complexity to get themselves up to those 11 points, they strike right back now, and we're back to a 2-round lead for complexity. But the big problem is now complexity with their economy never really being stabilized. They're right onto an eco here immediately, so SKDC can go for a big gun round take, and complexity will have to try to respond to this. But look at this now, they actually get a smoke push. We're going to see autimatic pushing, and he finds 1 and 2 kills before trading up by Els. They know the take is coming, so they can rotate their assets in. They're going to bring 1 player inside a drop. Els trying to hold from up here as sancz moves in. He's going to pick up 1 kill onto Osha, but they've been injured. They've got to hold back more. And there's SEMPHIS with the Deagle now doing some damage as well. He brings Els down to 61. And in all this time, they have been watching their flanks. So Roca has snuck his way around the map here. He's creeping through up to this smoke right now, and he can just upset things right from the get-go and give complexity back their lead. Creeping out, finds that headshot, locks it on, shuts down Els. And now it's just Hades stuck between a rock and a hard place, essentially. He's going to have to wait for the peak. He's got plenty of time to do this, but SEMPHIS shoots him to the floor. And there's complexity getting their round score right back.
Yeah, that's just a disaster right there. Great pushes from complexity. They got up behind that smoke, flanked out 2 of the players, and actually picked up the 3rd up there as well. So that was a major, major victory for complexity. And you can actually see they got 3 AKs out of that. So that's 3 guns they don't have to buy. And you can see still in terrorist spawn are going to be SKDC. They're trying to sort out this buy round. As you can see, it's going to be Ocean and desi on pistols. The rest on AK, so not too bad of a buy. They actually swap around some pistols as well. So they're going to put, actually, I believe that was Els to pick up an AK, or maybe desi.
I don't know, but
I think it was desi. Desi dropped over the Deagle, and they swapped that one out. Roca's going to come under fire here at long A, and he's going to lose that one.
Els is going to be able to dispatch him. This opens up the long A avenue to push in. SEMPHIS is going to be right in their faces, though, finding one, but Ocean's there for the quick trade. So now they're into the safe site, trying to push in. valens coming back in, though, for some more kills. And sancz actually watching out for the drop. Nice kill coming out there on the Hades. Takes him down. A little bit of a cost to his health pool here, but now SKDC working that 2-on-3. But both valens and sancz are actually fairly low, so they're going to need to pick up at least one of these to make it safe. And there's one. valens shuts down Els. They try to go for the plant, but his father's going to force wabbit out in the open. Doesn't matter. Finds one, finds a second now. And now it's a 1-on-1. Then he gets the Deagle shot to shut down sancz. There's SKDC right back in it to bring the scoreline up to 9-11.
Holy hell! What a 3v1. Absolutely insanity there from wabbit. Finds all 3 of them, almost burning alive in that Molotov. Gets all 3 of them in a 3v1, and that is just a huge motivational boost there for the terrorist side. They're going to go for a buy-up on the CT side. 2 mag 7s and an AWP on the back of SEMPHIS, but just an absolutely nutty clutch there from wabbit. Huge plays.
And now again, this destabilizes things on Complexity's 2 shotguns, and roca popping out gets a great flash, but he can't find the kill into desi. So although he's going to take some damage, he stays alive for the time being. And the CTs, again, fairly default setup. You do have roca playing it forward a little bit, but unfortunately because he fails on that kill, they now know he's a presence. What they don't know is that he's a shotgun, so they're going to have to figure that out as they work their way in, and he's playing for within sight of danger steps right now, but creeping out. We'll see if he can pick up any additional kills here. Lights up one, finishes him off with a quick trade for motion.
Yeah, so the 1-for-1 coming out here from the SKDC side. They got to go right back in this, and SEMPHIS playing with that AWP. He actually misses the shot, gets chipped down to 74 health. Now that rotation is on, and SEMPHIS is going to be able to find OD. Long range, sancz taking one down. He's still battling it out with, I believe, Ellis over there, who's dinked up down to 32. And there it is, simultaneously, valens finds Hades, and SEMPHIS with the AWP, making it happen, finds Ellis, and Complexity are going to take away another round here off of SKDC, and that will force the save now for the terrorist side.
It's another one of these games, unfortunately, but things will favor Complexity once again now, as they end up coming out at the better end of the economy, thankfully. SKDC sort of finally out of cash, at least to buy up 2 to 3 rifles that would have made it a more sufficient buy, and they're going to have to relax a little bit, and potentially this will put Complexity into a very good spot to maybe take the map. More than likely going to see them going up to 13 rounds because of this, and then we'll see the real big buy coming in from SKDC, and if they don't clutch that one out, that might settle the map from that point forward.
Big push coming towards drop zone, and this is going to be really dangerous. valens playing around the corner. He's just playing just for this pop flash to come out, but he's going to take this peek, and he falls back, and they might just be able to swarm onto his position. You can see he's going to be the only one to try to hold this area, but now they're making some footsteps over here by the Long B hallway, and valens actually hears this, so he's going to be primed and ready to go. There's the drop down. There's the flashbang. He's not going to get his rifle out in time. Desi's going to find that. They do pick up the AK. Now they're going to be executing it. Autimatic finds one. Still looking for some more. Valens, or pardon me, sancz and SEMPHIS chime in with a couple, but it's going to be Ellis and desi to answer back, so it's down. A very costly round now, and desi's still trying to find Autimatic. Pulls out the AK. He's got one right around the corner, but roca is there. So kind of expensive for the Complexity side. They've started to stabilize their economy, so the buy-up is not going to be an issue. But nice finds there from the SKDC side, and they're just going to immediately go back onto this rifle buy. But they need to absolutely make something work.
And we see people in chat, too, being like, oh, what is this game? Trading ecos back and forth. This is actually, like, somewhat normal now for, like, mid-tier NA games, isn't it? Like, how many times have we been casting EPL matches and, like, the same exact thing has happened? Or people just traded ecos back and forth for, like, 5 rounds.
NACS.
Pretty much. Like... It's not a very uncommon thing, to be honest. In a lot of
no, I remember games. A specific match. It was actually Cash, where it was enemy GG versus Complexity, and enemy actually won. I think it was 7 eco rounds, and still lost.
Yeah.
So
this happens
NA things. NA things.
So Complexity now finally having a good lead about themselves, and for now it looks like they are going to be able to maintain it here. SKDC unfortunately not making a whole lot of progress, so trying to make this take happen over towards the B site. We can see they're going to do counter boost here too, so valens can maybe rack up another kill, but he's going to get wabbit right into his face. Oh, wabbit actually does catch that, so he's going to be able to take him down. That equalizes things to 4 players, but wabbit actually is going to get forced outside of drop once again, or at least into the transition area room, and as he rolls out, health was a little bit too low to duel against autimatic there, but Ellis finds the trade onto autimatic. Now as they work their way back out, sancz again picking up the trade, so down to 2 left here for SKDC, but they are starting to work their way back out onto the site. Thankfully, sancz is there, that he picks up 1, desi the trade again, but SEMPHIS with the op will finish things off for Complexity, and they'll be up to 14 points now, 2 more away from finishing the game off here and taking us to map number 3.
Which will be Overpass for you guys that are in chat. If we do manage to go to the 3rd map, it will be Overpass. That's kind of a neutral pick, I believe. We've seen Complexity struggle on that map. I don't really know what X-Follow Esports SKDC really have on Overpass, but we've definitely seen Complexity. They've played well from time to time, and they've also played like a train wreck. Did somebody say train?
Oh boy.
Had to be done.
Yeah, that's your thing. Alright, so SEMPHIS...
My thing.
SEMPHIS is going to get the first opening shot here once again for Cole, finding the second on Ellis. And again, SKDC just sort of pulling out a bunch of blanks at this point when they try to make these pushes. So, yeah, I mean, you look at the rest of the push that's going to come out from SKDC too, and like it's pretty much just countered wherever they go. There's roca. 1 more, 2 more. And desi now, as he tries to work his way to drop, he's in a 1-on-5 regardless, so the odds are very low, and they both are waiting for him anyway. So there we go, match point for Cole. We'll see 1 more buy round coming out from SKDC, but from this point forward, it's got to be crystal perfect clear. And they've got to win 6 in a row just to take us into OT.
Yeah, and a very unlikely scoreline for them to be able to come back from. They haven't really gotten anything going on their terrorist side. They've won 2 rounds out of the 10. Math is hard. They've won 2 out of the 10 rounds so far that have played out. So 8-2 in the second half for complexity. So that's just really big. And roca doing exactly what desi was doing in the first half, and they're just going to push into this B bomb site. They already lost the bomb. Valens able to find one. SEMPHIS on the fast flanks, able to take down one. Gets the flick shot. Gets the no scope. And that is all she wrote. Complexity going to take this one 16-9. So 16-8 on train, 16-9 for complexity this time. And now we're going to map number 3, guys.
Yeah, and that's basically just going to be a straight role reversal of what we had there before. Previously, of course, we saw the great CT side back on train for SKDC, and now we see the exact opposite. The great CT side now coming out for the members of Cole back over here on Cobblestone. So they're going to pull back the same thing, and this is going to even out the odds once again over towards 1-1, which means we're going on to our 3rd and final map, which is going to be Overpass. That's coming up, guys, in just a few moments, so stick around for it. We're coming back to you with the final map in this matchup in just a few minutes.